Time, space, the Force. It's more than a linear path. It's a prison of endless possibilities, where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. I am Ryan Brower. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Join me and ponder the question, what if? The thing about a story, through different viewpoints, is while the main path can be the same, the road to getting there can be completely different. 10 years after the end of the Jedi and the start of an empire, Obi-Wan Kenobi is tasked by his old ally, Senator Bail Organa, to rescue his daughter and bring her home. But along the way, the two arrive on the planet Mapuzo, looking for help. There they meet Tala, who helps the two get into hiding. Tala is a member of the Hidden Path, an organization meant to hide those who are Force-sensitive from the Empire. In your galaxy, Jedi Quinlan Vos was merely known for helping smuggle in younglings through the Hidden Path. But in this galaxy, Quinlan Vos was known for helping smuggle in Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Tala explains to Obi-Wan and Leia what the Hidden Path is. Obi-Wan looks to the wall full of Jedi who'd craved their names in it. "Quinlan was here," the Jedi said, to which he hears a reply back. "Not just was, Kenobi, but still is." Obi-Wan was overjoyed to hear his old friend still alive. The two embraced in a hug, while Leia stood on waiting to be introduced. Quinlan looked over at Leia with curiosity. "What do we have here? You taking in my job as smuggling younglings, Kenobi?" No, Quinlan. This is Leia. I'm trying to get her home to Alderaan." It's a long way to Alderaan. We better get moving." But before our heroes are able to do anything, Obi-Wan senses a familiar presence nearby. Streets started clearing. Stormtroopers and Inquisitors stood at attention, and all you heard was the all-too-familiar breathing you all know. The breathing got louder and louder as the Dark Lord got closer and closer. Obi-Wan couldn't believe what he was seeing. In the back of his mind, he knew what had to be done and that there was no getting out of this. Obi-Wan tells Tala and Quinlan to get Leia to Alderaan. Quinlan objects. "No, I must help you, old friend. There are few of us left. We can't afford to lose anyone else. You, of all people, should know this." Obi-Wan responded. "Quinlan, listen to me. That girl is more important than any of us, even me. She must get home safely. This right now is your most important mission. Do you understand?" Quinlan nodded. Obi-Wan left the building and ran away from town towards the outskirts. Obi-Wan thought he could outrun him, until a red lightsaber ignited right in front of him. Obi-Wan tried to run in a different direction, but it was no use. Obi-Wan begged to know, "What have you become?" "I am what you made me." Kenobi ran once again. Meanwhile, Quinlan, Tala, and Leia all ran through the path towards the ship. Leia wanted to go back for Kenobi, but they both knew the mission and what was being asked of them. As they got closer to the ship, Quinlan sensed a dark presence getting closer to them. It was an Inquisitor. Quinlan warned his companions and told them to keep going while he'd hold off the enemy. The Inquisitor in pursuit was the third sister. In your galaxy, Reva wanted to kill Obi-Wan in hopes of winning Vader's trust to eventually kill him. But in this universe, Reva wanted to kill Obi-Wan to be Vader's #1 Inquisitor, and maybe even be taken on as his apprentice. Reva was in pursuit, but didn't inform the other Inquisitors because she wanted to handle this all by herself and take all the credit. All of a sudden, Quinlan steps out and Force pushes her to the ground. "Going somewhere, miss?" Reva gets angry, stands up, and ignites her lightsaber. Quinlan does the same, and the two engage in battle. Reva is a skilled warrior, no doubt, but her recklessness and impulsiveness led her to her downfall. As the Inquisitor goes for a charging stab, Quinlan dodges and stabs her from behind. The third sister started losing the ability to breathe. Quinlan helped lay her on the ground. He sensed her past using his Force Echo ability, also known as psychometry. "Rest easy, Jedi," trying to make her feel at peace, to which she responds faintly before passing. "I am no Jedi." Meanwhile, Obi-Wan was still running to avoid his fallen apprentice, but to no success. Vader was right behind him, lightsaber in hand, and the two started to duel. Obi-Wan was not ready for this battle. He had gone so long without using his saber, let alone the Force. He barely knew what he was doing. Vader, on the other hand, was more than ready for this. He thought Obi-Wan was so pathetic here. He was barely defending himself. So Vader started to toy with him. "You should have killed me when you had the chance. Now you will suffer, Obi-Wan." The Dark Lord threw Obi-Wan into fire. He didn't want to just kill him. He wanted to make him suffer. "Your pain has just begun," he proclaims, pushing him out of the fire so hard it puts out all the flames. Several stormtroopers appeared at the scene to help their leader. The next thing Vader knew, they were all shooting each other, killing themselves. Out of the shadows walked Quinlan Vos, lightsaber in hand. The Dark Lord brought his out as well, and the two began to clash. The Jedi would have to use his speed and agility to avoid the Sith's size and power. Obi-Wan was in so much pain he could barely move. Luckily for him, Tala and her droid loader, Ned B, were able to get Kenobi up and carry him to safety. Tala contacted Quinlan and told them they were about to leave the planet. Quinlan ordered them to go. When she objected, the Jedi replied, "Remember the mission." Vader assumed it meant protecting Kenobi, not understanding their true intentions. As much as Quinlan wanted to be the guy that took down one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, in the back of his mind he knew he wasn't powerful enough to do it. All he could do was buy time, and that's exactly what he did. Quinlan brought the fight to the Dark Lord, even cutting a small part of his shoulder piece off, though Vader seemed unfazed by it. The Jedi ducked a powerful attack, but instead of capitalizing, he went to grab the fallen shoulder piece off of the Dark Lord. He stood up and said, "Unfortunately, I figured it was truly you who was under there, Anakin. When I killed one of your Inquisitors, I saw her friends get wiped out at the Jedi Temple, the night of Order 66, and the only face I could see was yours." He began walking towards his former colleague. "Anakin, you know I've been down the path of the dark side too. I did terrible things, and I paid for it by losing the woman I loved. But you have to know that just because you walk away from the light doesn't mean you can't come back." Quinlan struggled to breathe. The next thing he knew, he was being lifted in the air by the way of the Force. "Anakin Skywalker is dead, and besides Kenobi, everyone that he cared about is dead too. So rest assured, Master Vos, that as soon as I am done with you, I will destroy Kenobi and put an end to the last remaining Jedi." The next thing Quinlan knew, he was pulled towards the red blade until it pierced through his heart. Meanwhile, back on Tala's ship, Obi-Wan recovered in a Bacta tank, and once he came to, he could sense what happened to his old friend. While saddened, he knew as well as Quinlan did what the mission was: to get Leia back to Alderaan. And thanks to the Jedi's efforts, they were not only able to do that, they were able to keep the hidden path from being discovered by the Empire, allowing it to thrive for years to come. That concludes our story today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to check out not only the other What If stories here on this channel, but all other content that I have available for you guys, whether it be videos, shorts, and live streams. Thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.